Hey, good evening and welcome to the monthly meeting of the Town of Happy Valley-Goose Bay Council. Before I ask for an adoption of the agenda, I have a proclamation to read. Arthritis Awareness Month. Whereas nationwide, community support has been critical throughout Arthritis Society Canada's 78-year history, enabling the organization to fulfill its mission to fight the fire of arthritis with research, advocacy, innovation, information, and support. Whereas arthritis is a serious disease that causes debilitating pain, restricts mobility, and diminishes quality of life. More than 6 million people in Canada, 1 in 5, live with the brutal realities of arthritis every day, and there is no cure. It is the leading cause of disability in Canada and costs our economy $45.9 billion in healthcare expenses and lost productivity. Without a greater spotlight on this growing issue, the number of people in Canada with arthritis will rise to 9 million by 2045. Whereas during Arthritis Awareness Month this September, we will raise awareness, mobilize, and engage communities to understand the devastating impacts of arthritis and stand with us to fight for an arthritis-free future. We recognize the work underway and have developed a nationwide action plan, Arthritis Action Now, the plan to end arthritis, Canada's first actionable coordinated strategy to prevent, better treat, and ultimately cure arthritis through advocacy efforts and research investments. Whereas Arthritis Society Canada is Canada's national charity dedicated to extinguishing arthritis for good, the Town of Happy Valley-Goose Bay hereby proclaims September as Arthritis Awareness Month in Happy Valley-Goose Bay. Thank you. All right, so we'll move into the agenda. I'll call for an adoption of the agenda, please.
So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Compton Hobbs, seconded by Councillor Laurie Dyson. Any comments? Any discussion on the agenda? No? Okay, call for a vote. All in favor of the agenda?
Aye.
Aye. None against? Carried. Okay, we have one delegation today, Mr. Curtis Saunders. Welcome, Mr. Saunders. Before we start, if I would ask the lead for Finance, Administration, and Policy to please read out our policy statement regarding delegations.
Thank you, Mayor. On the fourth Tuesday of each month, during our regular scheduled council meeting, the council chamber gallery is open to the public, and resident engagement and participation in the form of delegations is encouraged. In consideration for the length of council meetings, the mayor and council retain the right to limit the number of delegate presentations during a single council meeting. Delegations have 10 minutes to present their concerns, with written requests for detailed matters encouraged. Delegates may speak to one topic only per meeting and may only appear before council once on the same subject. Following the presentation, the mayor and council members may ask questions or make comments on the information presented, but will not engage in debate. No delegations will be considered on topics such as human resources, labor relations, legal matters, or any topic that is not within the legislative authority of the municipality. The 14th Council respects our constituents' right to present their issues or concerns. In accordance with policies A0018, A0041, and A0043, the Town of Happy Valley-Goose Bay operates a respectful workplace, and all presenters and members of the public are reminded that any abusive or threatening behavior toward town employees or council will result in removal from the premises. Thank you and welcome to our meeting.
Okay, Mr. Saunders, you got your 10 minutes, sir.
Thank you. Can you everyone hear me? I want to thank the mayor and especially the deputy mayor and the council. To anyone that's listening in Happy Valley-Goose Bay or out of Happy Valley-Goose Bay or St. John's, especially St. John's, I have a few things here regarding the town of Happy Valley-Goose Bay over the last number of years. We all know what's going on in the day-to-day operations. We see it every day. I spoke to the mayor a little while ago before you had your monthly meeting at the beginning of the month. I told him about where there's some of the local homelessness is, where they're staying at. And it's right here, out here in the woods, right next to you. Right over by Tim's. Tim's right at Tim's. They got a whole bunch of trees right there. They can't see them from the road. But I could see them going in there with beer. Spoke to the mayor. Spoke to the deputy, he spoke to the Nadine that was going to check on it, see what can be done. That's 3 weeks ago. What do we have? Well, I'm not saying nothing no more. I'm sick and tired of complaining to the town. I spoke to all the politicians. What do we do? You want to know how we're going to solve this problem? We got emergency shelter. Mr. Premier, listen to me. Minister of Justice, listen to me. We got a homeless shelter. The emergency shelter. 10 years later, still emergency shelter. Never ever got a permit. It's not what you know, it's who you know. So I lived here, we all live here. We got kids, grandkids. We all want what's best for them. What are we going to do? Are we going to keep saying, oh, no? What are we going to do? No one can answer me. I speak to the politicians. They're all going to do everything. Nothing has happened. Nothing has changed. The only thing that has changed in the last 10 years is the different parties in power. God forbid, don't piss off this party, the PCs, because I know the last town council for the last 10 years did piss off the government, and where did that get us? Where did that get us in the last 10 years, the Goose Bay? We see it every day. You live with it, and I live with it. No, you don't like it. No, do I. Neither do I. People say I'm a shit disturber because I speak up. I speak up for what's right. I want my family, your family, to live into a beautiful community that we grew up in. But that's long gone. Long gone. But the only thing I got to say to you, your election promises, don't forget what you ran on. Every one of you. I look in your eye. Every one of you, what you ran on. What you're going to promise you're going to do for this community. Just sit back a minute and say, well, okay, that's okay. You can do whatever you want. I registered for a delegate for the meeting tomorrow night. And lo and behold, Mr. Dillon right here, I sat down and spoke with him. And he said, you didn't register. I told Mr. Dillon, no, I never registered because I did it verbally. And he said, no, it's not in writing. Okay. A few years ago, I put some information to the Freedom of Information for Newfoundland government. I asked from the town council of Happy Valley-Goose Bay. No, we'll do it. You can't write. Okay, you can't write. They'll take your verbal. Yep, freedom of information. It's Constitution. If you can't write, you put something in. That should go somewhere, but no, not with the town council. Happy Valley-Goose Bay. It's not what you know, it's who you know. But anyway, I'm not going to harp on that. I look forward to the meeting tomorrow night. Or whenever you guys decide to call it. But anyway, that's all I have to say. But I'm going to say this here to you, councils. I thank you for listening. And when you go around town, hold your head up high. Because I will, as a senior that will speak up and is not scared to speak up. I thank you again. And I hope you don't take this offensive. I'm not trying to give anyone a hard time. Enough's enough. It's not what you know, it's who you know or what you're going to get or who's going to scratch my back and I'm going to scratch your back. Enough of that bullshit. Those days are done with. If you can't come clean, the makers and the movers of this community, we have a lot of makers and movers in this community, don't we? Previous council, a lot of makers and movers. Mr. Hickey, Mr. Brett, what would they say? I knows what they would say. You knows what they would say too. That's all I got to say, and I thank you again. Don't forget. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Saunders. All right, we'll move into the rest of the agenda. Our correspondence, our council, if you haven't had a chance to review, is in your package. There's 2 letters there. So we'll move into item number 5, adoption of previous minutes. Call for a motion to adopt the 20th minutes of July 28, 2026.
I'm on.
Moved by Councillor Dyson, seconded by Councillor Williams. Any discussion on the minutes from July 28? Okay, none heard. Call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any against? None against. Motion is carried. Call for a motion for the adoption of the 21st minutes, August 11th, 2026. Moved by Councillor Williams, seconded by Councillor Odell. Any discussion? Okay, none heard. Call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None against. Motion's carried. Okay, we'll move right into Finance Administration and Policy Committee, and Councillor Rumbold, as lead of the committee, please bring forward your report.
Thank you, Mayor. Council met as a committee of the whole on August the 11th, and under the Finance Administration and Policy Department, we discussed updates needed to Policy A0037 to bring this policy in line with the TLSDA, Towns and Local Service District Act, from the Municipalities Act of 1999. I will have a recommendation to follow. We had a request for support of the Labrador-Grenfell Health Charity Golf Tournament, again with a recommendation to follow. And we had a request to dispute and reinstate a low-income tax relief for a resident, and there will be a recommendation to follow. We also had a business tax exemption request with a recommendation to follow. In addition to the items that were discussed during the Committee of the Whole, our managers have advised that they are aggressively working on collections, focused on follow-up, that they have finalized our adoption of our new auditor and are now working to coordinate with the new auditor to bring them up to speed on the town's finances. We had 107 low-income relief applications approved, with a total of approximately $115,000 in relief provided. And our Director of Corporate Services is also working on HR matters, including hiring and working through training of new employees. And that would sum up the Department of Finance Administration and Policy for this month. And I'd
Okay.
like to request that you accept my report as presented.
Okay, so moved. Do we have a seconder to accept the report?
So moved.
Councillor Odell, any discussion on her report? Just one item, I guess it'll come up, you had mentioned you had 5 recommendations?
I have 4.
You had 4? Okay.
Wait, now, unless I have an additional.
You didn't mention the kids club.
Yeah, there was
Pardon me?
one that never brought up in terms of a donation request.
Carnival.
I have 4 on my 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, 6.4.
Yeah.
But I do not have the one for the Kinsman on my agenda. It's not, it's deferred? Oh, removed, okay. Sorry, so I do have 4 is correct.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Move into
So there was a
those.
recommendation in the Committee of the Whole, but hasn't come forward to the
Right.
council
Okay.
meeting. Okay. Yeah, so I only have 4.
Thank you. You move into those?
Ready? Okay, my first recommendation is in regards to policy A0037, council meeting attendance by electronic means. The Finance Administration and Policy Committee recommends council approve amended policy A0037, council meeting attendance by electronic means, as enclosed in the council package.
Okay, so moved,
I'll
seconded
second
by
that.
Councillor Dyson. Any discussion on the motion? I'll just add, I guess this was in terms of updating a motion that was there that was basically in relation to the Municipalities Act and with changes under the Towns and Local Service District Act, as well as I believe it was the Town Code of Conduct, I believe, Nadine? Was it, there was another, it wasn't just the Towns and Local Service District Act.
No, it was the municipal official, no, municipal remuneration, I forget the name of it, it's about the remuneration for municipal officials
Right.
and what it requires for meeting attendance and how they can attend.
Right, so it's just basically updating that policy to reflect the changes in legislation. Okay. So no discussion? Okay, we'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the motion's carried. Next one, please.
Okay, my second item is the Labrador Grenfell Health Annual Charity Golf Day. The Finance Administration and Policy Committee recommends that council approve the donation of $600 to enter a town team to participate in the annual LGH Golf Tournament on Thursday, September the 10th, 2026.
Okay, so moved, seconded by
I'll second it.
Councillor Winters. Any discussion?
Just want to ask a question. Did we get a full team?
Not yet.
How many waiting for?
Well, we started with council.
Yeah.
And then moved to management and then we're moved to staff,
Okay.
so.
All right, thanks.
Randy's all, I
You-
should say,
you know
Director of
who's-
Engineers.
You do have one so far.
We know who's the team lead.
Yeah.
We have one that won't play, thanks, yeah.
All right, any other discussion? Any none heard, call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion's carried. Okay, next one, please.
My next item is a low-income, okay, yeah, my next item is in regards to low-income property tax relief. The Finance Administration and Policy Committee recommends council deny the request to reinstate the low-income property tax relief for par ID 193170, as the property is no longer the principal residence of the property owner.
Okay, so moved, seconded by Councillor Odell. Any discussion?
Can I just ask a question?
Councillor Williams.
So, maybe I don't have it formulated right. If the property is owned by somebody who, I don't know how to ask the question. If the property is owned by somebody, can they not have the low income tax relief until they no longer own the property?
They have to be living in the property.
Okay,
It's based on a household income.
Yeah,
Yeah,
based on
it's based on
household.
household income, but it's also based on where you reside, so you
Okay.
can't live in Florida and get low income relief in your house in Goose Bay. You have to actually live in your home.
okay, so how would we know that? I guess if I could follow up that, like, I mean, how do you know who lives in the property? Is it,
I believe the information that was provided to the town, it indicated that the individual owner was no longer the primary, it wasn't the primary residence of the
Was
person.
no longer living.
It was in the
at
correspondence.
the home.
yeah, no, I understand that. I read that as well, but I just,
So we go by, I'll say by trust, by faith.
mhm.
When they complete their form and they sign it to say that this information is true and factual,
Right,
that they are listing the people that reside there and have their incomes included.
okay,
And so if somebody else is completing the form on their behalf, then they're making the same attestation that the information is true and correct.
So
Okay.
this income was submitted as the person that owned the house but no longer lives there, correct?
I believe it was submitted by a relative
family
of the
member.
person that
Yeah.
was,
Their income,
that owned
right?
the home.
Yeah.
Councillor Odell?
Just one question with regards to that as well, is that we say the person has to be living there in the house, but if the house, and again, in some situations, some people are not able to live in their home and it's vacant, is that still a consideration through the town then for low income for property taxes on that house? If it's vacant and that individual is no longer able to live there based on their medical needs or whatever other
They
concerns?
wouldn't qualify if they're not living in the home. The intent of the policy was to provide relief to people who were living in and maintaining their own residence.
Right,
Right.
On limited income.
okay.
Okay.
I just had a question.
Counselor,
Yes, sir.
Rumble first.
Just to Counselor Odell's question, my understanding, and the CAO can correct me if I'm wrong, but if we had, for example, John Smith was not able to live in his home, maybe he's in the hospital, and nobody is living in his home, and he's not able to pay that property, he wouldn't qualify for low-income tax reduction program, but he could still submit a request to the town based on hardship. Am I correct? Yes. So it's just not fitting the criteria of that program that we have in place, that low-income property reduction application, but that doesn't mean that a request for hardship relief wouldn't be considered. It's just, you don't fit this, you can still submit a request for this.
No, that makes sense. I'm just wondering if that information again is, I know we have it in our policies, but I'm just wondering if it's out there for residents to.
I'm sure if they reached out to the town hall, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, Counselor Winters?
No, good.
You're okay?
Yep.
All right.
Can I
Okay,
just ask?
I'll allow one more, because we shouldn't be
Yeah.
going back and forth. You get to speak once, but
Understand it completely, but just further on that, what if it's being rented, and I guess that would be a whole other kettle of fish, because the person would have to submit that as part of their income of the rental property?
Correct.
it's based
Okay.
on who's living in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, okay,
Whether it's rented or not.
okay. No,
Okay.
that makes sense. Thank you.
All right, no further discussion? Okay, we'll call for a vote. All in favor of the motion? Aye. Any against? None against, motion is carried. Okay, next one, please.
Okay, my final recommendation is in regards to the Tarrington Co-op Kids Club. I apologize. I have the letter. I do not have the briefing note in front of me, Kathy, I'm sorry. Okay. The recommendation is, okay, in that side of, okay.
You want to read off?
No, I've got it right here. I just was looking for the briefing note. Okay, so we have a request for a donation to the Tarrington Co-op Annual Kids Club Carnival. The Finance Administration and Policy Committee recommend that council donate $1,000 to go towards the purchase of prizes for their free event being held at Kinsman Park on the 12th of September.
Okay, so moved, seconded by
I'll second that.
Deputy Mayor Compton Hobbs. Any discussion? None heard? Okay, we'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion's carried. That's it
That's
for you?
everything for me. Thank you,
Okay,
Mayor.
thank you, Councillor. Moving on to Community Planning and Development, and Councillor Dyson, please.
Thank you, Mayor. The Community Planning and Development Departments have been busy as usual, with summer season and construction season as active for this time of the year. Our CDO has been involved in meetings with ACOA on funding opportunities that can support proposed tourism initiatives in town, as well the Community Wellbeing and Safety Plan presentation by Mr. Davis. They've met with the Labrador Chamber of Commerce on new promotional videos for the town to include local businesses and developments. There have been various in-person events, of course. They collaborated with the Recreation Department to promote the Rib Fest and the post-event survey on the Rib Fest as well. Updates to the town profile on Municipality NL, that's under the Municipal Directory. Updates to the town's calendar and social media pages, as well as public service announcements, which is ongoing. Live streaming of council meetings is ongoing and available on the town's YouTube. The design builder is currently making progress with completing the deficiencies, and an updated deficiency list is being compiled with timelines. I think we'll get a little bit of an update on that from Mr. Dillon later on. A final claim has been submitted to ACOA and to Infrastructure Canada. However, because the proponent's work is long overdue and definitely not satisfactory to the town, as we've discussed several times in public meetings, the Director of Engineering is working also with legal to address that. We'll get an update on those discussions with Architecture 49 and Parmelo in the coming days. Work has been completed on the Grenfell Street upgrades and Loring Drive. The D42 pump house upgrades, the contract was awarded to Gray Rock for $2,987, $2,987,492.75, with the completion expected in late fall. The Riverbank Stabilization Project received no tenders, so Englobe prepared a request for information document to forward to potential contractors, and they're reviewing their responses to revise the tender document. The Fire Hall Design Progress Meeting is scheduled with the consultant, I think, tomorrow, Mr. Dillon?
That's correct, Councilor.
Okay. The Kellen Drive walkway, we're waiting a proposal from CBCL to provide engineering services. The Churchill Street Housing Infrastructure, request for proposals for an engineering work being finalized. Crown Lands applications, discretionary land use applications, home-based business applications are ongoing every month, of course. And I ask that you accept this report as read, and I have several recommendations, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Councillor. So moved. Can I have a seconder?
I'll second that.
Okay, Councillor Williams. Sorry, I had her name up first. Her hand up first. Any discussion? Okay, no discussion. Call for a vote. All in favor of the report?
Aye.
Aye. None against? Carried. Okay, thank you. You got 3 recommendations?
I've
sir?
got 7, I think.
7.
6 or 7, okay.
Well, I only see
The
4. Oh,
Community
okay.
Planning and Development Committee recommends council provide no objection to Crown Lands application 165773, located at 1113 Barrett Street, on the condition that future development complies with the town's development regulations, and that the applicant acknowledges that the property will require road, water, and sewer infrastructure to be built at the applicant's expense to the specifications and criteria as required by the town of Happy Valley Goose Bay.
Okay, so moved. We have a seconder. Seconded by Councillor Rumbold. Okay, any discussion? Okay, Councillor Odell.
As I was reviewing this today, I was looking at the area of land or area of town where this development or housing project wants to proceed to. And the only thing I look at that is that it seems like a parcel of land that could be extended, that will be extended, and something that the town could ascertain and utilize rather than, and I know this is Crown Lands, but again, something that could be utilized as public housing, residential housing, and done in a manner where the land is properly divided and developed accordingly. So that's my take on this.
Are you looking at the right piece of land?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
11 and 13 Barrett. Yeah, because it continues on past between Mealy Mountain and Valley View. And beyond that, there's property behind the bike trail, no different than Evans Crescent. But again, the way I look at this is an opportunity to develop that property for residential purposes and not just have people apply to Crown Lands and get chunks of property here and there. So that's all I had to say with regards to that piece of property.
Okay, any other comments?
Yeah, I think it's important to know that part of the budget, or not the budget, the briefing note is that they have to do their own water and sewer. I think that needs to be stressed because that's not what Councilor Odell is saying, is that we are not responsible for putting in their water and sewer for that property.
Right, and what about road work and?
That's
All
exactly
in-
what
It's all in there that they have to do
It's
that
in the
themselves.
note, yeah.
Yeah, that's correct, Mayor. The road infrastructure as well as the water and sewer infrastructure will have to be as per town standards, basically will be an extension of the existing.
Okay. Any other comments? I'm just curious as to why it's taken 30 years for somebody to apply for that piece of land. It's been there for a long time. So,
It's good real estate.
yeah, it's a good piece of real estate, yeah. Okay, no further discussion. Call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
None against? Carried. One against?
I guess.
Okay, one against. Councillor Odell's against.
Okay, the second one is Crown Lands application 165729-660 Trans Labrador Highway. The Community Planning and Development recommends council provide objection to Crown Lands application 165729, located at 660 Trans-Labrador Highway, as this access road does not currently lead to any permitted use. Applicants can reapply once their associated use is approved.
Okay, so moved, seconded by Councillor Odell. Any comments? Okay, none heard, call for a vote. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
None against, motion's carried. Next one, please.
Crown Lands application 165771. The Community Planning and Development Committee recommends council provide objection to Crown Lands application 165771, located at the intersection of Diefenbaker, McDonald, and St. Laurent, as the area is zoned open space, parks, and trails and does not allow for residential development.
Okay, so moved, seconded by Councillor Williams. Discussion? Okay, none heard, call for a vote. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
None against, motion's carried. Next one, please.
The Community Planning and Development Committee recommends council approve the home-based business application at 64 Grenfell Street, where their operation is a tattoo shop called Carlo Taran Tattoo, subject to compliance with all town regulations and conditions and federal and/or provincial legislation as applicable.
Okay, so moved, seconded by
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Compton Hobbs. Any discussion? Okay, none heard, call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None against, motion's carried.
The Community Planning and Development Committee recommends council approve the home-based business application at 2 Mitchell Street, where the operator will have a home-based business for short-term rental accommodations, subject to compliance with all the town regulations and conditions and provincial and/or federal legislation as applicable.
Okay, so moved, seconded by Councillor Williams. Discussion? Okay, no discussion, call for a vote. All in favor? Aye. None against, motion carried. That's it for you, Councillor?
Nope, I have one more, but
I have to declare a conflict as I'm the executive director of the Housing Coalition with regards to this next one, the personal care home.
Okay, just give the Deputy Mayor a couple of minutes to sit up in the gallery. Okay, go ahead, Councillor.
okay, the staff recommend that council approve the discretionary land use for a personal care facility with civic address 65-79 Anderson Crescent in the newly approved residential multi-unit zone, subject to compliance with all the town regulations, conditions, and provincial and/or federal legislation as applicable.
Okay, so moved, seconded by Councillor Williams. Discussion? No discussion heard. I just want to say that, you know, this is, I think, a facility that's badly needed in our community, and hopefully we can see it come to fruition. And that area of town, you know, it has a varied different types of residential properties, but it's a seniors development there and personal care home. I think it's a good location for it personally, and hopefully we can see this come to fruition. Any other comments?
Just one more comment. We've seen a multitude of people make comments on this development, and the general consensus seems to be that every community in the province needs to model what Happy Valley-Goose Bay is doing with their seniors development under the Housing Coalition. So,
Okay. Any other comments? Okay, none heard. Call for a vote. All in favor of the motion?
aye.
Aye. None against. The motion is carried.
That's it for me, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor. Okay, we'll wait for the Deputy Mayor to get back to her seat, and we'll... Okay, we'll move on to, trying to look at my agenda here now. We'll move on to Protective Services. Deputy Mayor, have any updates?
Thank you, Mayor. Again, basically, public safety, we met with Minister Ottenheimer, Minister Evans, MHA Russell, RCMP Packer Hill. We're continuing to advocate for improvements to public safety in the community. We continue to advocate for moving violations. We need our MEO to get them back. The last I heard was they met July the 8th, the minister. I don't know if we got anything new on that CAO. So it's, it's on their desk, so we need a decision made on that. We've been waiting long enough. And like you always say, what's good for the gander is good for the goose. So we should, keep this one really in the forefront. There's lots of activity happening out there around highway patrol, highway act. And we could certainly, use that moving violation with our MEO certainly every day in his duties. Public safety, Mr. Saunders spoke about it earlier. He's right that it continues. There's intoxication going on in our community. There's open alcohol going on our community. I think, the RCMP really needs to step up and control that. And I know they're out there, but nobody should be staggering around our streets, in the broad daylight and doing some of the activity that's going on. Business shouldn't be, harassed. Customers shouldn't be harassed. It's time, we need action, and we need it now. We don't have time to wait for detox and mental health addiction. Yes, we need that, but we need a short-term solution. And we talk about this every year. He's right. We talk about it every year. Nobody really has an answer how to control this, how to improve the situation, but public safety is on the radar for everybody, and it needs to be addressed. And we will continue as a council to advocate to try to find solutions to this ongoing out-of-control issue. The calls I always mention the RCMP report, the calls that they received in 2026 for the month of July was 535 calls. That's a lot of calls. In 2025, it was over 600 calls. So the volume is still high. We know, but we say keep calling in. If you see anything, call in. There's that way they're collecting data and stats and moving forward. Our community safety well-being plan, we're at the end of that now and should have that finalized in the next few weeks and get that submitted to the Minister of Justice. And so public safety is certainly a topic at this table every time we meet, so we will continue to advocate for sure. That's it for me, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Deputy Mayor. Okay, we move right along to Municipal Services and Councillor Williams.
Perfect. Public Works, all regular seasonal duties.
I'm sorry. Did we vote to accept her report as presented?
You did not.
Oh, okay,
I
I'm
didn't
sorry,
think so.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
okay, so, thank you, Deputy Mayor. It was an update, more so, but we still have to, I guess,
Yeah, there was no
accept it. Okay,
recommendation.
we accept your report as read.
I'll
Do we have a
second that.
seconder? Seconded Councillor Dyson. No other comments? Okay, call for vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
All right, let's go
All right.
2.0. 2.0.
Yeah.
All regular seasonal duties are ongoing for our department. I would note there has been some hauling of sand to the landfill to cover up garbage. And there's also been work on drainage improvements with 4 catch basins already installed with 2 more to go. But 2 things I would like to note for Public Works to the public is road maintenance, which includes painting and pothole repairs, means everyone should be careful to slow down when they see ongoing maintenance and construction work. The second thing, which I hope everybody can hear and understands, is that our town has a yard waste dumping site up off Court Reel or Transmitter Road that continually has unauthorized material being dumped there. So this is a reminder that it is only for yard clippings that are out of the plastic bags and non-treated wood. As for engineering, there is a lot of crossover with community planning and development, but that YMCA, like Councillor Dyson spoke about, there is some progress with deficiencies, but there are ongoing concerns about the delays that are being worked through with the Director of Engineering. Loring Drive and Grenfell Street upgrades have been mostly completed with some deficiencies being worked through. D42 pump house upgrades proceeding with a hope for completion in late fall. I also know that substantial effort has been made by this council to work towards a new depot and landfill planning alongside potential development in our community, but still want to mention that both our lease for the depot and the life of our landfill have upcoming expiries that we need to always have at the forefront. Finally, I'd like to know about the hydro connection to the e-bus charger and if this is complete, Mr. Dillon.
Thank you, Councillor. We're waiting right now, we're waiting on contact, we're waiting on information from Hydro. The transformer that was damaged was installed with a temporary replacement. So all the work is done by the contractor, and we're waiting now by Hydro to come make the service connection. And once that's done, then the contractor will get charge point in to do the commissioning.
That is amazing. I would ask you to accept this report as read.
Okay, so moved.
A second.
Seconded by Councillor Dyson. Any comments?
Mayor, I got a question. You talked about line painting of potholes. Mr. Dillon, can you give us an update if all the line painting is completed, and also the alders? I brought that up a couple weeks ago, and I don't know if it started or when it's starting, but it's awful. The community, the corners, the streets, they're really overgrown, that alders are, and they need to be cut and trimmed. I just don't, do you have an update on it?
Yes, Councillor, as far as I know, this is on the work plan for the public works staff. I know the superintendent is on vacation for the last week or so, last 2 weeks. I'll inquire to ensure that this is carried out in a timely and efficient manner. And with the line painting also, we have an issue with some of our staff being unavailable to complete it. And some of that has been contracted out. I know that is underway.
One specific area I'll just bring to your attention that is Markland and Court Real that you can't see around the willows to get out on the road.
Yeah, that's an area that poses a problem every year because there's a stop sign there, and you have to be right up on top of the stop sign in order to really see it. So just hopefully that can be done. And I'll just add, I believe, and this happens every year with the fire index as high as it is, crews are not able to go out and actually start clearing brush, and because of fire hazard, correct?
Well, that's an issue also, Mayor. I know right now I think the town is under a high fire hazard condition.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful with operating equipment that
So
can cause
hopefully
sparks.
some of that can be done, before the fall.
Yes, for sure, Mayor.
Any other comments, Councillor O'Dell?
I just got one question with regards to the new construction or new pavement on Grenfell into Hampton River Road. I know we discussed this on a couple of occasions with regards to how we are going to, maintain exiting of Grenfell onto Hampton River Road, whether it's going to be no left turns or whatnot. Just wondering if we've made a decision, or are we looking at the possibility of preventing that from occurring to make things safer on that intersection?
Well, the intention is to make that no left turn going from Grenfell onto Kelland. I know there are, on Hamilton. There are a couple of no left-hand turns on order. So hopefully when they get in, then we can put out a PSA and put out the proper communication to the public, notifying them that there will be no left turn. And I don't think it would be a big issue, because you can always go down Strathcona and so on to make, if anyone's making a left-hand turn to go down Hamilton River Road, there should not be any inconvenience as such, except it would make that intersection safer.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you.
Okay, no other comments? Okay, call for motion to accept the report as read.
I move.
Okay, seconded by Councillor Dyson. Okay, no discussion? Call for a vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Okay. Next one, Community Service and Recreation, and Councillor Winters, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm just going to give an overview of the August report from the CSR Director. I have no recommendations. Townsend Tune event. Events and filming took place this past week. Report will be provided next month for the next month's meeting. But from all accounts, it was deemed very successful, and it will take some time for editing, and dates will be announced regarding airtime. Ribfest was a very successful 3-day event. The weather was excellent. We had multiple local artists, performers for the community, as well as 2 performers from out of community. Our estimate is that there were about 1,000 people coming through the site each day, and we hope that they will want to come back next year. With regards to YMCA annual campaign and YMCA CAC and FAC committees, there was no meetings scheduled for July and August. Funding. A COA application was approved by council last month. We are waiting to hear back from Regional Development Fund. Was submitted to Department of Jobs, Growth and Rural Development. Active NL applications are open and we are in process to apply. Year of sport funding, final report is completed and submitted. Sport Hall of Fame, the draft TRR is being prepared and sent to the CEO, and from my understanding from last meeting to council as well, so we are still waiting for that for review and feedback. Husky Park renaming, community consultation survey is completed, and it will be, the results will be tabulated by the CSR director and forwarded to council for further review. Summer Rec program, the Summer Rec program is running smoothly with an average of over 40 participants. Our summer staff are excellent. They provide daily activities for the participants. Each week present a different different theme and focus. World Cup week attracted the attention of CBC, who had a segment in last week. Pickleball program, the program that we started with funding support from the Year of Sport, is a success. It takes place twice a week at the arena, Monday and Thursday. We had over 30 people in one evening. To increase participation and active time, the staff have created 2 additional courts to have more people play at the same time. The courts have been painted and we will also be able to use for badminton. The program will continue until we turn on the ice plant for the ice season. Seniors Fun Day took place last week with most seniors attending since we started the program. Aging well, we have difficulty connecting with partners due to vacation schedule. We are rescheduling our next meeting for September. Ball game between town and Five Wing Goose Bay took place this past Thursday with the town staff winning the game, and hopefully it will continue to become an annual event to increase ties between the base and the town on a more informal level. The arena. The arena's main use is for our daily summer program, twice weekly pickleball program, and floor hockey. Due to the interest in the program, we painted 2 more additional pickleball courts as previously mentioned. Ice plant. We are currently working with Simcoe to confirm a date for the annual maintenance since June to confirm a date of visit. Central Clock. Director provided information note to council and received direction to continue forward with this project. Currently in the process to apply for additional funding under Active NL. Facility audit. The Department of Engineering is directed to contract a consultant. Clydesdale Department of Engineering is to finalize the quote request to award the project. Curling Club, ongoing work to replace the brine pump before season starts. Kingston Park is not fully open. The reason why it's not fully open is we limit access to bathrooms during bookings because of vandalism. Ball fields, all 3 ball fields are in operation and the senior teams will be starting their playoffs soon. MSC soccer field, topsoil is on site to proceed with top dressing. We are waiting for an operator to be available to complete the work. Fence and watering system, we're still waiting on the Department of Engineering to confirm that the area will be big enough for a track and field facility. Playgrounds are checked daily and repairs if required. Staff and training, staff are taking summer vacations. Director of CSR will be on vacation from August 23rd to September 8th. System reports, there's no reports this month. Recommendations, no recommendations this month. Upcoming, we have August 31st to September 7th, tentatively the ice plant maintenance. September 26th, Happy Valley Day. September 20th to the 27th, tentative start of the ice season, pending Simcoe's annual maintenance schedule. And just a note regarding the Happy Valley Day is the CSR department is currently looking for vendors and musicians. So if you have any interest, please contact CSR department. Please accept report as provided.
Okay, so moved, seconded by Councillor Dyson. Any discussions on the report?
Just one thing is, I gotta say this department, like, for this year, 2026, with regards to the Labrador Winter Games, the Rib Fest, this has probably been the busiest I've seen this department in years. And hats off to Dom and the staff for what they've done so far, as we still have one more summer event, which is the Happy Valley Day event, and then on to the winter schedule. So I gotta say hats off to those guys in that department.
Yep. Any other comments? Okay, none. Call for a vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, none against? Carried. All right, we move on to the adoption of the checks. And Councillor Rumble, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to make a motion that we accept checks for the month of August in the total amount of $1,571,000 and $2.67.
Okay, so moved, seconded by
I'll second.
Councillor Williams. Any discussion on the checks? Okay, none heard. Call for a vote to accept the checks. All in favor?
Aye.
None against? Carried. Okay, so we'll move right into Councillor's Forum. I'll start with Councillor Williams first tonight.
Fun. I wanted to end tonight with something light. I can't believe that we're coming to the end of another summer, thank goodness. We're getting ready for fall, my favorite time of year. I won't look at Councillor Dyson because I know that she doesn't feel the same way. But our community has been incredibly busy. You can listen to Councillor Winter's report. But over the past few months, I've really enjoyed seeing people out at community events, using our trails, recreational spaces, and enjoying everything that summer in our beautiful community has to offer. So as families start preparing for another school year, I want to wish all of our students, all of our teachers, bless them, school staff, bless them as well, and families, a really wonderful start to September and a new year of school. I know that we likely have very few children or youth listening tonight, but in case you are, I'd like you to remind you of something that matters just as much as what you learn. Be kind to one another. Look out for a child who might be nervous. Include someone who is sitting alone. And remember that we never really know what another person may be carrying.
Okay. Thank you. Councillor O'Dell.
Yeah, for myself, I'm just going to reiterate back on the public safety, and with regards to the public safety of this town, the council, I just want to make sure the residents are aware that the town has been doing everything in its power to advocate on behalf of the residents to all levels of government to find long-term solutions to the problems that we face. The town has contracted Garda, so the public and the residents will see Garda driving around to oversee and report activities within the town's public, specific to the town's public spaces. The town is also looking at other security options that can help with safety in public spaces. And finally, with regards to that, we ask that the residents report inappropriate activities that they observe, because again, at the end of the day, the more we know of the activities going on, then the better we can deal with those issues. Finally, just an event that's coming up, the town of Happy Valley-Goose Bay's firefighters will be partaking in the Muskrat Falls 9/11 Stair Climb Challenge on September 4th, based on reason why it's the 4th and not the 11th is because of resource availability in Muskrat Falls this year. And all proceeds will be going towards the SPCA and muscular dystrophy. So get out and support your local firefighters if you see them around. I think we have 9 or 10 participating this year. And just a shout out to Newfoundland Labrador Hydro, they will be matching everything that we raise as well. So
Are you going to participate?
I will be.
Oh, perfect. Perfect, great. We'll look forward to your report next month.
We'll look forward to my blessing.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Councillor Rumble.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to throw a bouquet to everybody involved in the Towns and Tunes event, which appears to have just gone off wonderfully. I apologize that I was not in attendance. I had a previous commitment, but it just looked like it went off so well. And I think that this will be something that will portray our community in a positive light. And it's always great to have word reach, I guess globally, as to, TV productions and media blitz. So hats off to everybody involved. Seniors Day was held on the 15th, and as Councillor Winters noted in his report, that was an overwhelming success. That's the first one I've been in attendance to where we actually ran out of supplies. But we never run out of music and sunshine. So we may have run out of food and drink, but the music and sunshine was in abundance, and I'm very hopeful that everybody in attendance had a wonderful time. I also attended, along with the mayor, the Philippine Heritage event at Kinsman Park on the 8th, and that was another day full of sunshine, smiles, laughter, and music. It was so nice to see the members of our Filipino Canadian community in their traditional garb. It was just fabulous performances, amazing food, just the talent on display was incredible, and hats off to everybody who took part in that. I'd like to say a thank you to the Red Arrows. Those of us who grew up watching air shows had a little bit of nostalgia, a little piece of what was once in our community. They don't need to do that. They come here, they do it as a training exercise. I don't even know if they were aware until they spoke to the media of how much joy they brought to the residents of our town by doing a training exercise in that nature. So huge thanks to them for that. I'd like to acknowledge the mayor for his continued advocacy, clear messaging in the media on behalf of council for our community. We had the big Gull Island announcement, and it really was the opportunity for Mayor Pomeroy on behalf of the 14th Council to put out there our expectations as far as what needs to happen in our community. So thank you, Mayor, for representing us and advocating for the whole community in this way. I'd like to say a thank you to the summer rec staff and the summer town staff. All of our youth, we had youth laborers, we had youth summer rec attendants. They did a great job. I'm sure that their presence will be missed by the rest of the town staff. So thank you very much to the young people who had summer jobs with the town. I would like to comment briefly on this public safety as well. I called the RCMP this afternoon. There was an intoxicated individual in distress behind my office. There was a less than 6-minute response time. So I don't think that's totally unreasonable. I mean, you know, it's less than 6 minutes. They were there, they were on site. And then less than an hour later, I don't know what triggered that call because it wasn't mine, but they showed up with another response with Police Dog Fox, and everybody knows I'm a huge fan of Police Dog Fox, to attend to some issues that were in that general area. So I think it's important to note they can't show up if they're not called. And a social media post complaining is not going to get the RCMP on hand. So my response was positive. I wasn't asked 100 questions. I wasn't forced to leave my name and number. It was a simple, I'd like to call and request assistance, and it happened. So again, I encourage everybody to do the same. I'd like to ask that the residents of our community take the time to review our official Facebook page, the Town of Happy Valley Goose Bay page. There's so much information on that page. We see some negative comments on social media regards to the town, but there are things like if there's going to be a traffic interruption, it's listed on our official Facebook page. If we need people to register for a public meeting, it's on our official Facebook page. Important issues are on there was one yesterday that had 3 exclamation marks. This is important. Do this by the end of today. And so if you're able to be on social media, and I know not everybody is, and we've always said you can contact our town hall for more information, but the people who are on social media, please take a moment to check out our official Facebook page. My final thing in closing, I'd like to offer some condolences. This is not something that I enjoy because, well, I don't enjoy offering condolences, but I'm always afraid I'm going to miss somebody. But to the Best and Asevac families on the loss of Jamie. I knew Jamie ever since he was first born, and he was the same age as my daughter, and he will be greatly missed and mourned by his family. To the Coates family on the loss of their son Nick, and to the Carew family on the loss of Keith. So 3 young men, 3 lives that touched so many, and their absence will be felt. And condolences to their families. And that is it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Dyson, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Condolences, of course, are always sad. I'd also like to offer condolences to the community of Sheshashi on the loss of Anne Marie Panashway, who was a long-term care resident. And of course, Marg Michelin, many people may remember her as one of the cleaning ladies in the Friendship Center for years and years and years. So condolences to those families as well. The Trapline Marathon is coming up. They're looking for some volunteers for water stations, road marshals, the food, all along. Keep an eye out for that. I know they're doing it ahead of time. It's not for another about 6 weeks yet, but it requires a huge number of volunteers. We usually always set up the first water station outside of Shaji just so we can have our volunteering over with, so we can get back to the starting line and watch the runners come in. But if you've got some time on that day, please consider volunteering. It's a great event. It's very well received in this community, and we have runners coming from literally all over the country and beyond. The Towns in Tune event, everybody's talking about that. You know, I've watched the Silver Wolf Band perform dozens and dozens and dozens of times, and I enjoy them every time. When they performed the other night, it was the best I've ever seen. And what can you say about the legend Tonker Campbell? You know, those girls from Beaufort were just in awe of his ability to make his guitar just sing. He's just amazing. The only other thing I want to mention is myself and CAO and Margaret were involved in the Capital Works Roundtable session. And of course, there was a lot of discussions on the issues that are facing a lot of the communities. And, you know, we brought up our issues with not having our community constable able to do what he should be able to do. So that was a general consensus. But I just wanted to note that with school coming on, you make sure you're paying attention to the crosswalks, the bikes, and the scooters, which are rampant in this community. But apparently there is a community in the province that do not have scooters. We found that out on our meeting, and everybody was kind of shocked. But keep an eye out for the scooters, because they may be zipping around, and a lot of times a lot of them are not paying attention, and we just want everybody to be safe going back to school. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Councillor. Councillor Winters, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of things. Thanks to Curtis Saunders for his presentation this evening and his passion for our community. I think public safety is a big thing here. I know Deputy Mayor mentioned earlier that we did have meetings with everybody within Authority for Change, and they know very well, because we say it every meeting, and we do it graphically of what's going on in our community. So basically, we will advocate on behalf of our community and our residents, and that has been ongoing since I've been on council. I know it has been going on since the 12th council. One last thing is condolences to the families of Jamie Azovac, and I hope that the ongoing investigation leads the authorities to a closure sufficient enough to the families. That's it for me, thanks.
Hey, thank you. Deputy Mayor, please.
Well, when you're almost last, everything is said. But I do want to, I agree with Councilor Rumble on our advocating, and we are certainly getting the message out that we need a lot of infrastructure in our community, the social impacts, and I think people are starting to really tune into what we're saying, our roads, our healthcare. So we need to continue doing that as much as we can till we see, something in our community improvements. Towns and tunes, I'm gonna focus on that for a second. It was a great week, and the Beaufort, South Carolina people really enjoyed Goose Bay. I heard a couple of them say, "I'd love to move here. I'd like to move to Goose Bay." They really entertained the crowd Saturday night, and our own locals, electrified the building. So it was a great event, and I was happy to attend. And I even got a happy birthday sung to me in the South Carolina twang, so that was nice. But yeah, that's it for me, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. All right, I'll just touch back on Towns and Tune. When the Community Service and Recreation Director and I went to Beaufort this spring, we weren't sure exactly how all this would work out. It was a great experience in South Carolina. We were down there for 3 days. And when we came back here, it seemed like it was a very well-oiled machine. They knew exactly what they were doing. They were really engaged with the community. The people from South Carolina just couldn't get over the hospitality that they received when they came to our community. Everywhere they went, people were wanting to have a chat with them. I don't know if people just wanted to hear the accent or what it was, but it was, they were very welcoming to our community, and that says a lot for our community, because I think we are a very welcoming community, and I think it was very, very happy to be able to host this crowd. And so the intent, I believe, is to air 2 communities in a show, probably in April or March or April. I've asked the producers to give us the heads up, and maybe we can organize some kind of a watch party at the Lawrence O'Brien Center in concert with folks from South Carolina, and we can all get together through Zoom or whatever technology we can use, and we can all sit together and watch it together ourselves. The executive producer kind of looked at the engineering guy and said, "Is that possible?" And he said, "Well, nothing's impossible." So we'll wait and see, and hopefully we'll get some news on that. So the day we issued a statement this morning regarding the delays in permitting from the provincial government, Service-N-L in particular. We have contractors around town, developers. We have individuals that are trying to move ahead with different projects, different developments, and as we all know, they've been bogged down with red tape, or I guess in some cases red tape, but just lack of resources from the province and able to process those applications. I found out late this afternoon while I was speaking to the media that they did receive a response from the province indicating that they've pushed this to another level, that they're having additional resources in Corner Brook, and they're in the process of having a temporary position, I believe, stationed here in Happy Valley-Goose Bay, which I think we need a full-time position personally. So hopefully we'll get things moving on that. Contractors, businesses, developers, they can't be waiting 6 months or 3 or 4, 6 or a year for Service-N-L approvals. And meanwhile, with all the activity going on in our community and what's going to come in the months ahead, it's important that these things be dealt with right now. And we can't wait 3 or 4 months. I've insisted that get rid of the backlog right away as soon as possible. And so it's not about laying blame here. It's about making sure that we have a system that works for our community. There was one other thing I wanted to mention, but I think it was already been mentioned here already, so I'll just leave it at that for now. I want to thank council and thank staff for all the work that you've done over the last month, and as you do all the time. And it's been a busy month for a lot of us. And this weekend, I'll be heading to Bay Roberts for the Urban Municipalities Conference, or Urban Mayors Conference, sorry, along with the CAO. And I'm sure a lot of these topics that we've been talking about over the last few weeks, particularly expansion to Gull Island and Churchill Falls, will be probably front and center at those discussions. So I'm looking forward to participating in those. I'm hoping that there'll be a few provincial ministers there that we can get his or her ear. And we'll continue to push our priorities forward. And as a council, I think as long as we keep focused and move forward, we'll get where we need to go. With that, I'll call for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion to adjourn, seconded by Councillor Brumbo. Meeting's adjourned.